What's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte. We are taking a look today at the latest trade bait board heading into the 2021 NHL Trade Deadline. We'll be taking a look at that in this video. If you guys like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to help us hit 1K subscribers, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and an even bigger subscribe down below. And let's take a look at TSN's latest on the trade bait board. So let's get right into it. So we have a couple of guys that have started to move up, as well as another guy that moved down. So some of the names, the names we've been hearing for the most part, Marcus Sorensen, Jake Virtanen, and Tony Deangelo went down in this week's trade bait board. Deangelo, obviously it's been, I think, more than a month at this point, almost 2 months, since his situation with the New York Rangers, the incident where he got in a fight with Georgiev and supposedly Ricard punched him, whatever the case it may be. It doesn't seem like anybody is taking Tony Deangelo, not even on an AHL training stint, whatever it's called. Nobody is taking Tony Deangelo, and this could be a huge problem for the Rangers, especially with their cap space this offseason. He is signed to another year on that contract. He signed a 2-year deal this past offseason. That's going to hurt the New York Rangers because that is, I think, $3.5 to $4 million this year and next that the Rangers would probably like to have back, especially when they have to re-sign guys like Igor Shesterkin and a guy like Pavel Buchnevich this summer. Like I said, Jake Virtanen also moving down the trade bait board. We've seen bigger names just come onto the board. So Jake Virtanen's name has still been thrown out there. Former first-round pick, I think a top 10 draft pick by the Vancouver Canucks back in 2013, 2012. And he just has not panned out for the Canucks. So we could see him get moved. But the interest is definitely toward other players, which we'll be talking about those guys now. So Colin Miller of the Buffalo Sabres, right shot defenseman. He's 28 years old. He already has 6 points on the season, which is okay, I guess. He is on the final year of a $3.8 million deal with the Sabres, so you could expect Colin Miller to get moved. I think a couple of teams in particular, I think the Philadelphia Flyers would be interested. The Winnipeg Jets, who are looking to add some defense on the right side. You could see Colin Miller be a good fit for those teams. Jake Broska of the Boston Bruins has gained a lot of traction. He was scratched last week by the Bruins, and we're starting to see his name get thrown out there more and more often. He did sign a 2-year deal with the Boston Bruins. I was wrong. This is the final year of a $3.7 million contract he signed last offseason with the Bruins. Obviously, he's not playing well. He's not been in the organization's plans here over the last couple weeks. So you can quite honestly assume that Jake DeBrusk potentially has played his last game in Boston if he gets traded at the deadline. A couple of teams have been interested in DeBrusk. I've heard the Calgary Flames have thrown interest, the Edmonton Oilers, who looked at him last offseason. So there are going to be plenty of suitors for a guy like Jake DeBrusk. But again, it comes down to price. Who wants to take that $3.7 million? They're going to look at the other guys available that are quite honestly more skilled for around the same cap hit. So we'll be looking at those guys now. Eric Stahl moving up into the top 10 as Eric Stahl of the Buffalo Sabres, the final year of a $3.25 million contract. He's played 24 games with the Sabres. He only has 9 points on the season. The 36-year-old center is going to be a suitor for a lot of teams, a pending unrestricted free agent, and there are a lot of teams that will show interest in Eric Stahl. So quite honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if a team like even the Minnesota Wild took a waiver on maybe bringing back Eric Stahl. The Minnesota Wild, the New York Islanders, I think would be an interesting fit. The Florida Panthers, I think would be a really good fit. And the possibility of him returning to Carolina has been thrown on the table. So we'll see what happens there with Eric Stahl. Nick Felino, the final year, the captain of the Columbus Blue Jackets, making $5.5 million for this season. The 33-year-old forward, again, 11 points this season, so he's definitely struggled a little bit with the Blue Jackets, but the rest of the Blue Jackets have struggled as well, so nothing too surprising there. Nick Felino, though, will generate some interest from teams we've heard quite specifically. He's been linked to the Toronto Maple Leafs as a team that could really be keying in on Nick Felino. Even at that $5.5 million cap hit, I would expect that the Blue Jackets have to retain some of that salary for the remainder of this season in order to get a guy like Felino moved. Another guy that has moved up over the past couple weeks and now is at number 3 in TSN's trade bait board. At number 3 is Rickard Rakell. Rickard Rakell has generated lots of interest, and he's got 19 points in 26 games this season. He's one of the younger guys on this list as well, only 27 years old, and he is on the he has one more year left on his contract with the Anaheim Ducks, making $3.79 million this season and next. So expect Rickard Rakell to definitely be a guy that teams will be looking at because of the contract duration, because of the fact that he is just a really talented piece. And again, a guy that's playing fairly well with Anaheim who lacks goal scoring. He's still got almost 20 points on the season. He's almost a point per game with a team that really should not be scoring goals. He is the reason they are scoring goals at all this year. And then obviously the top 2 guys continuously on this list, it's David Savard of the Columbus Blue Jackets, right shot defenseman, pending unrestricted free agent, and Mattias Ekholm, left shot defenseman. He has another year left on his contract after this year at $3.75 million per season. That is a really good contract. A lot of teams will be looking at Mattias Ekholm and David Savard as they are the top 2 defensemen right now on the trade market. So guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Who are you surprised got further up the list? Are you surprised that guys like Tony Deangelo and Jake Virtanen fell down in this week's list? Let me know in the comment section down below. And guys, if you want to see more of what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, and especially as we get closer to this trade deadline, you want the latest news around, the trade deadline, rumors, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and an even bigger subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.